My name is Leticia Lamb. Have you ever been asked if you would rather be deaf or blind? Well, imagine not having a choice and you were both deaf and blind. The speaker I'm introducing today is both deaf and blind. She is an inspiration to all because of her many accomplishments and her attitude throughout her trials. This inspirational figure is none other than Helen Keller. I will be sharing her background, how she learned to communicate, and her many accomplishments. Helen Keller was born June 27, 1880, in Alabama. Keller was born with her sight and hearing. She started talking at 6 months old and started walking around 1. She was then struck with an unidentified illness at the age of 2, leaving her deaf and blind. She started to stop communicating properly. Her parents then got Keller a teacher, Anne Sullivan, at the age of 7. Anne Sullivan used finger spelling inside of one of Helen Keller's hands, then placed her other hand on that specific object to help Keller understand what the name of that object was. Helen Keller did not understand until April 5th, 1887. She and Sullivan went out to the water pump. Sullivan pumped water out onto one of Keller's hands while Sullivan fingerspelled W-A-T-E-R in her other hand. Helen Keller finally put 2 and 2 together. She fingerspelled back to Sullivan W-A-T-E-R, and Sullivan nodded yes into Keller's hand. She ran around, stopping at certain objects and fingerspelling it into Sullivan's hand. She learned around 30 new words that day, and they were both so excited. This is how she came to be able to communicate so well with others. Because of her work with Anne Sullivan and her will to keep going, Helen Keller has accomplished so much. Helen Keller wrote and published her first biography, The Story of My Life, in 1903 while attending Radcliffe College. She went on to write many more books. Helen Keller was the first deaf and blind student to graduate with a bachelor's from Radcliffe College in 1904. She was appointed to the Massachusetts Commission for the Blind in 1906. From 1919 to 1924, Keller lectured and toured around the United States. Many movies were made about her, and her home that she grew up and was taught in was turned into a National Historic Landmark. I've been able to share the wonderful life of Helen Keller, including her background, how she learned to communicate, and her many accomplishments. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to one of the most inspirational people in the world, Helen Keller.